Since the major, Entropiq has been on the rise ever since. They're the 9th best team in the world right now, and their star, El1an, is currently the highest rated awper on Ancient on the CT side against top 20 opponents. Hey, I'm Smirky, and today I want to look at El1an and how he awps on the CT side of Ancient, so let's begin. Before we begin, let me show you a quick overview on what El1an commonly does with his AWP at the start of the round. Commonly, El1an will head out off CT and Molotov elbow from house, and from here we'll be watching it for a short time before rotating off towards B or A, but most commonly A. But once he rotates, the mid area is no longer his responsibility, and it's up to Lucky and Foster to kind of hold it. But it is worth noting at times El1an may start towards B for an opening kill. Now enough of me yapping, let me show you his POV. Now first off, let me show you what El1an does at the start of the round, where he's typically towards mid. When he comes towards mid, he will either Molotov by himself, him and his teammate will throw 2 Molotovs towards the choke point, he may try to use the T's house smoke to his advantage, and lastly I will show you a bit of his rotations. When he's by himself, he will Molotov elbow. So in this round, he's going to Molotov elbow, he's going to fall back a bit, and he's going to hold this angle right here. And the point of him holding this angle is because he wants to catch any T's running through the Molotov and catch him with his AWP. And this is very basic stuff that you should be doing if you're playing towards mid. Once again, El1an's going to come towards mid. In this round, he doesn't have an AWP, but he is going to have an A1. He's going to Molotov elbow, he's going to fall back a bit and wait for any T's running through the Molotov. It is worth noting if you do hear a Molotov being put out, you need to be ready from wide swings from the T's. In this round, El1an is going to have an AWP and he's going to do his default Molotov, but in this round he does get smoked off, and this is something that will commonly happen to you if you're playing towards the house, as it's so easy to smoke it off at the start of the round. So due to this, El1an's going to wait for the sound cue of his Molotov being put out. Once he hears the smoke, he's going to throw the HE, and if there are any T's trying to run out after the smoke, they're going to be eating that HE. Now let's look up double Molotovs. Obviously for the double Molotovs, he's going to have a teammate with him, and this will commonly be Lucky. At the start of the round, they're going to both Molotov, one's going to be deeper than the other, and we can see when El1an Molotovs, he's going to rotate straight back to A. And as we can see in the top right, Isaac is trying to run through mid, however he gets caught in a Molotov, and he doesn't want to swing into any CTs holding the angle. So he's going to try and cancel out the first Molotov, but unfortunately he is still stuck in elbow due to the second Molotov. And this is going to leave Isaac isolated towards mid until the Molotov goes away. Here is another example of them double Molotoving. They're going to double Molotov again, and Russ is going to try and go for the utility and try take mid. So when Entropiq starts feeling the heat and starts seeing the utility coming in, they're going to start responding with their own HEs and start throwing them towards the entrance. And all this utility is going to put Rusty really low, making it really hard for him to survive later into the round. Now let's look at some ways how you can try and counter the smoke. In this round, El1an's going to be playing towards mid by himself. He's going to preemptively right click the smoke, just so it lands somewhere at the bottom of the stairs. Then once he sees the T smoke coming in, he's going to start pushing and he can look over his smoke. He's going to try use the smoke to give him a one way, but unfortunately the T flashbangs are just too strong and forces him off the angle. And this smoke is something Twist will commonly use on his CT side on Ancient. And if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend checking that out. In this round, the T's threw a house smoke, but unfortunately for them, it does leave a bit of a gap. In the bottom right of it, El1an has vision at Isaac and he will try to take the kill, but he does worth a few shots and does lead to his death. But if he had an AWP, it would be so easy to punish, as he can just zoom into it and click once he sees the target. In this round, El1an has no utility and he's going to be holding mid, waiting for the swings. And a smoke will come in from Win that will smoke off house. So as a response, El1an is going to wait there, holding his crosshair really still and waiting for a long time. Just because he might get lucky with a shot and might get a free kill. You can see he's going to be really patient with it, but unfortunately doesn't get the kill. It is a bit uncommon to get the kill through the smoke when you're doing something like this, but it is still possible. Now let's quickly talk about his rotations. Pretty much every time El1an goes towards mid, he will always rotate towards A. So this may mean that he throws some utility and then rotates off, or throws some utility and just hold the angle before rotating off. And as mentioned in the intro, since either Lucky or Foster may be playing towards Donut, it does leave a gap towards A that needs to be filled. So that's El1an's responsibility if he's starting towards mid. Let me show you some ways how you can start towards B. In this round, El1an is going to come through alley, he's going to go towards long, and he's going to nade deep towards the double doors. And this can be such an easy way to get some free damage if there are any T's defaulting towards ramp. But soon right after, he's going to jump right click a flashbang, and this will allow him to peek with the flashbang towards ramp, and if there were any T's hold him, they're probably going to be blind while facing El1an. Once he has done his peek, he is going to go back into the angle, and he's going to do this jump peek. This jump peek is probably one of the safest ways to get information on ramp. By jumping and counter strafing back into the angle, it makes it really hard for the enemies to hit your head, and it can allow you to get some quick information. Once again, El1an is going to come over, he's going to HE deep, then he's going to do the exact same flashbang. And from here, he's just wanting to find an opening kill onto ramp with his AWP. but later on he does want a Molotov nade towards door to try to delay the T's default or execute. But unfortunately during this timing, Deco's going to find a gap in the timing and sneak his way up towards the left side. He does a quick jump peek to spot if anyone's gone up, but he can't spot Deco. If you are holding towards ramp, you do need to be careful of this corner, as it can be a common place for a T to hide to wait for any aggression from the CT side, or perhaps contact their way onto the site. But shortly after, Deco's going to try to take El1an off guard, and he almost gets the kill, but luckily for El1an, he gets saved by one of his teammates. Now, if you do want to play a bit more passive, you can hold this angle towards here. At the start of the round, El1an is going to come through alley, and he's going to be holding the boost from deep long. And from here, the T's can't punish him by peeking towards ramp, and he's only visible towards the boost where he's holding it. And especially how tempting this boost can be for players not just in official games but in pogs, it can be a good way for punishing the T's. Once again, El1an is going to come over and he's going to flash over ramp before peeking, and this will force any T's off the angle if they were holding it. And later on he wants to peek down in towards ramp, so he's going to do this deep Molotov, go for a quick jump peek as shown before, and he can hold the angle. Now, if you do want to get creative to get an opening kill, you can use this. At the start of the round, Crad is going to be at a lower level than El1an. El1an is going to use this little bump next to the wall to crouch up onto Crad's head and peek towards ramp. I really like how quick and easy this boost is, as you don't need to fiddle around with both players jumping at the same time or take some time to get into a certain location. And it's also really unlikely that a T would be holding for this boost, especially in pugs. So it's always good to throw this in once or twice a game. Now, if you don't want to peek towards long, you can always peek from short. In this round, El1an is going to come over, and he's going to use these stairs on the right to get a height advantage on the T's and make it a bit of an off angle. If one of the Gamer Legion players was to contact up towards ramp and try to clear their angles, they're certainly not going to be expecting El1an to be this high up. And by the time they realize, it should be enough time for El1an to get a kill and fall off the angle. But soon after, he is going to Molotov round to make sure no T's get up and rotate towards long. But if you are going to be playing this spot, you do need to be aware that you are really vulnerable to flashbangs coming over, especially in a rush, due to how little cover there is from flashbangs when you're playing this position. And this is another opening kill you can try go for. El1an is going to be going towards cave. El1an is going to throw an early HE, and this is to make sure if any of the Gamer Legion players wanted to push up towards ramp, they're going to take a bit of damage. But once El1an arrives on the angle, he's going to be holding it like this. And this position may be really hard to Molotov off, as you may need to cross towards the other side to have a good angle, and especially flashing him off due to how much cover there is offering for his help. Now let me show you what El1an does when he's open towards B, sort of during the mid round. Now as mentioned previously, El1an does like to peek towards ramp using a jumping right click flash. However, I really want to show you this round and how greatly he plays it. So in this round, once again, Deco's managed to creep his way up towards the right side of the wall. And in a second, Glowin's going to jump peek above the boxes, trying to get information for his team. Once El1an spots that, he immediately tries to take the shot. However, he doesn't want him to aggress up, so he's going to Molotov nice and deep. And these pieces of utility should force him away from the angle. And before he just re-peeks onto the angle, he's going to go for another jump peek. He doesn't see anyone's holding, so he places himself back onto the angle. He is going to go for a few more jump peeks, and in a second, Deco's going to make his move and start fighting his teammate. Once El1an realizes, his instant reaction is to take the fight onto Deco and try to save his teammate. Crad does die, but he manages to get the trade. El1an is going to go for some jump peeks towards ramp, and he's going to spot Glowin jiggle peeking next to the boxes. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the kill, but if you notice, after he's taken the shot, he goes back into the angle and jiggle peeks to see where he's going. And due to this, he gets a slight glimpse of Glowin's arm. El1an thinks he may have gone towards the left side, so he's going to try to hunt him, but Crad will take care of him. At this point, El1an is now getting worried that it might be a B execute, so he wants to smoke off cave to try and hold B for a longer period. This smoke will keep Raven inside of cave, not allowing him to help with the B site. And in a second, El1an is going to get information that Travis is towards ramp, so he's going to go for a really quick peek and take care of him. Once El1an gets a kill onto Travis, his confidence is just going to go through the roof, and he knows that Raven is somewhat near cave. And the only way he can leave is through cheetah. So if El1an's quick enough, he might be able to trap Raven inside of cave. So we can see he's going to run over. Then before he peeks onto the angle, he's going to go for another jump peek, and he's going to spot Polt watching the angle. But at this point, El1an's just going to be too quick for Win to handle, and he just takes care of him. And due to the comms from his teammates, he knows the last player is still towards cave, so he's just going to hold for him. But this is a round I really like from him. It's just full of confident, adrenaline, quick plays, not allowing the T's to have any room and to make any progress towards the bomb site. It's also worth noting if you are playing towards long, you can smoke door by aiming towards here and left click throwing. This smoke can be pretty useful if you want to smoke off door, you want to rotate off the angle, or you want to re-aggress. Now in this round it's going to be 30 seconds and El1an's going to be playing towards short. He's going to be on top of the stairs as mentioned before, watching down towards ramp, and he's going to spot Zero trying to run up ramp. But if I put this in slow motion, El1an can see he's holding a pistol of some sort, so El1an doesn't want to give him the opportunity to run up ramp, so he's going to repeat back onto the angle to make sure they can't just explode off it. And as the time is going down and Gamer Legion are just losing more players, they need to make a desperate attempt to get into our bomb site. So El1an's going to stay posted, not tempted to unscope as he might get timinged. He gets a kill onto Rushy, however he doesn't want to get traded, so he wants to reposition towards long and take some fights. And because he knows it's an eco, he can just pull out his USPs and go for those headshots. There's also been a few scenarios when El1an wanted to peek towards ramp. In this round he's going to go across the site, peeking nice and slowly, making sure he doesn't over peek on somebody. And by doing this he might get a lot of information for his team, and in this round he might be able to make it a 4v4. But unfortunately for El1an, Gamer Legion are going to do the triple boost towards orange, and Error is going to spot him in the open. Once again, El1an is going to peek towards ramp, but it seems like every time he's going to do this, something unfortunate happens for him, and in this case, Gamer Legion are about to execute onto the bomb site. He misses his shot onto Isaac and tries to fall off, but the execute comes in and he doesn't manage to get away due to the flashbangs. So you do need to consider the risk before doing a peek like this. There's also been some scenarios where El1an wanted to hold cave from short. In this round we can see he's going to leave a little gap between the cracks in the wall. He's able to spot the T's torsos as they try to cross, and from the T's perspective it can be really hard to spot you due to how tight and low the angle is for the T's. And in this round against 1win, El1an's going to use the exact same angle, except he's going to make it a bit wider to allow him to have a bit of reaction time before hitting the shot. But in this round he's just going to get completely destroyed by Raven. Alright, now let me show you about El1an on A. El1an will spend most of his time towards A. In the start of this round, he's going to come over towards Temple. And it's important to note before he just peeks towards main, he's actually going to do a quick jiggle. This jiggle might be important because there might be a T holding for this pick. And once he's cleared the angle, he's going to place himself on Brokey and hold main, waiting for any T's to walk out onto the angle. Once again, El1an's playing towards Brokey. He's going to be holding the angle really carefully, not tempted to rotate or switch to any utility. And due to his patience, he's going to get rewarded by getting a kill onto Isaac, who's just trying to clear his angles. And if you notice, as soon as he gets that kill, he's going to reposition to this angle right here. And I really like this, because it could have been so easy for Era to peek out and wait for El1an to re-peek and get the bomb site. So by repositioning, it's going to make it really hard for Era to get the trade and makes him a bit unpredictable on where he's placed himself. But unfortunately, he's going to get timing hard and he's going to throw a HE. And in my opinion, I think he should have just held the angle and wait for him to come out. Now, the power of playing Temple is that you can also hold Donut. In this round, Lucky's going to be playing the A bomb site and not holding Donut, so El1an needs to hold it. And El1an's going to be holding this gap right here. And because he's holding this gap, it prevents the T's from going behind it and going in front of it. No matter what, he is going to get the info if any T's have crossed and might be able to get a kill. And as you can see, Zero wants to get across, so he tries to peek El1an, but since El1an has no AWP, it's just an easy kill for him. At times, El1an will take a bit more of a deep angle and go towards Big Box. And the power of Big Box is that it can be really hard to sneak onto the bomb site, as you can hold such a deep angle towards main. And when I was versing a player in this position in Pugs, I found it really difficult to flash the AWPer off due to the box covering the flashbangs on the left side. So if you were to flash him through main, he'll probably have time to dodge it and place himself back onto the angle. But something he does quite commonly, he likes to move towards Big Box and hold towards Donut next to Brokey. And as mentioned before in Temple, this has the exact same benefits. The T's can't get towards Donut because he's holding this angle. And in this round specifically, Entropiq are going to stack the B bomb site, so El1an's going to be in charge of holding both of these angles, which does leave the risk of being timing. So you do need to be aware of this if you are going to do something like this. Here is another example of El1an playing near towards Brokey. He's going to be holding the same angle. Unfortunately, 1win is going to bait the shot out of El1an, so he's going to miss his first shot, but because he knows his pistols, he can keep re-peeking onto the angle and taking pop shots with his AWP. And due to his constant re-peeks, he's going to manage to get a double kill before getting a tag onto Ravenlock. But if you was also noticing, every time he took a shot, it went back into the angle, and when he was ready to fire the shot, he would peek back into the angle, decreasing the chances of 1win getting the kill. Now at times you might want to lean towards that B bomb site, but you need to kind of help A, so this angle can suffice. El1an can hold this deep angle towards CT, but it is worth noting that a T could sneak out of main, hug Donut and manage to get himself onto the bomb site due to how limited his vision is. But it is a really good angle in catching the T's crossing towards the site. Once again, El1an is going to be placing himself back into the angle, but this time he's able to hold main properly, so Gamer Legion can't work out. Then he's going to reposition himself towards quad or triple, or whatever you want to call it. And due to the position that he's playing, it's actually a headshot angle, meaning only El1an's head should be showing, but he should be able to see the T's bodies as they start coming out. And so as a T trying to come out of main, it can be really annoying to deal with this position, but there are no areas for El1an to fall back, so he'll probably need to keep re-peeking until he dies. Now let me show you how El1an will respond to a B execute. It is worth noting in this video I'm not going to include anything about A executes, mostly because El1an will spend most of his time towards the bomb site, and as of right now the meta is to most commonly go towards the B bomb site as a T. In this round, the T is going to push on towards the B bomb site, so before El1an rotates off, he's going to get some quick information towards main, and he's doing this because it might be a fake and they could be trying to look out towards main. But once he gets info, he's going to rotate through CT and place himself towards long, and this prevents the T's from pushing up towards long and taking alley. And it is really important if you do lose alley control as a CT when the T is executed onto the B bomb site, it's almost impossible to retake that B bomb site due to how strong of a position it is to hold. Once again, El1an is going to be holding towards main. The T's are executing onto the B bomb site. The B players are going to get pressure from the T's, so he's going to smoke off main and go rotate over. And in a second, El1an is going to throw this flashbang, and this flashbang is actually really good, as even though he's towards CT, it lands right above short, supporting his players and delaying the push. But as he's rotating through CT, he's going to get caught off guard by Isaac, who's looking towards house. But somehow he doesn't get the kill. El1an just destroys him. But if you don't have any teammates holding house prior to the execute, you do need to be aware of any lurkers, so maybe hold out your pistol while you're running across. In this round, El1an is going to be holding towards mid, and he's going to find out it's going to be a B execute, so he's going to help his teammates by flashing over alley, nading his sight, and scoping onto long. And he's doing this because he doesn't want to get wrapped from long and let the T's have alley control. But I do feel like he could have peeked onto the side a bit earlier and perhaps supported his teammate when needed. But fortunately for him, it doesn't really matter, as he's able to find impact by re-peeking towards short and finding some damage. And because they still have alley control and cave, they're later able to make a successful retake. Now in this round, El1an's going to switch guns with a nickelback before flashing over the site, and he's going to do something which I haven't actually seen that much, but I do really like it. He's going to make his way towards short, and you can see he's going to do this jump peek right here. He's doing this peek because he wants to know where the default plant is, so when the T tries to plant behind the pillar thinking they're safe, he's going to find a kill and deny the plant. So he's going to wait nice and patiently, and when the bomb is being planted, he gets the kill onto Isaac. Now there's 13 seconds left, and now Era's left into a 1v3, which is basically impossible for him to win. And knowing this, El1an will fall back towards alley and will hold long, and either wait for the peak or the bomb to be planted. Now let me show you this round. This is a round I actually really like. In this round, it's going to be 15-14 to game the Legion, and they're going to be left in a 3v2. Foster and El1an are going to work together to retake the bomb site. El1an knows that there's a player still towards default, and he's going to trap him to make sure he can't go towards cave. Meanwhile, Foster will come from short and peek towards default, preventing him to go towards ramp, meaning Rusty is just isolated towards the pillar. Foster is able to get the kill towards default. El1an unscopes at the wrong time, but gets the kill onto cave. And due to this really well played retake, Entropiq are able to take this to overtime and later win the game. After watching a few of El1an's demos, I've noticed he's quite confident. He's confident in his mechanics and knowledge to go for challenging kills and play challenging positions. He's quite dynamic. I like how many different approaches El1an can take towards a certain position and how to utilize them best. He's also really aware. He will hold an angle where he thinks that an enemy could come from, especially behind his teammates' backs. He will also go for quick info plays before rotating off. If you have any player or positions you want me to break down next, feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll have a look. Perhaps you want to know how Vitality did a pistol air fake on Vertigo on their T-side pistol? Well, I made a video which you can check out on my Twitter in the link in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching the video. See you in a bit.